It's 8:30 and time for our high beam this morning. And we're privileged and glad to have with us the interim mayor of the city of Dover, Shane Gunnoe. Shane's a busy guy, so thanks for popping in this morning. We appreciate that.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate being here.
It is our pleasure, as I said. So first of all, welcome in. And second of all, gosh, there's so much we could talk about. But before we talk about how things got to be the way they are in a certain sense, tell us about how some things have been going. I know summer's about to, well, I guess it did officially end. I hate to let it go, but paving projects have gone on within the city. So is that all wrapped up now?
Actually, we've got one more street. So this year we probably were the most aggressive we've ever been in terms of paving. Between us, the city committed about $1 million, roughly $1 million into paving this year, and it actually came in slightly under budget. So we're going back out next week, and we're going to do 6 more blocks just to make sure we're getting the most for our money. And then we got ODOT this year to come in and pave some of the state routes within town. So in total, we did about $2.6 million worth of paving.
I have seen a lot of black asphalt down there, so that's good. That's something that everybody sees too, so they kind of know what's going on.
Yeah, and we tried to focus this year on areas where a lot of people are going to see it. Our business community, the downtown, again, the heavily traveled state routes. There's certainly more to do. There's always more to do, but we tried to get a good bite at it this year.
You certainly did. Tell me a little bit, and this was a little bit complicated, about some new traffic lights and patterns. How did that all come about, and where are we at with that project?
So we are starting phase 2 of traffic signal reform there.
Yeah.
So basically, we're replacing all of our traffic signals along some of the state routes. We did about half 6 years ago. They're going to be synchronized. They'll have trips in certain areas. But it's all designed to make traffic flow smoother. Instead of it being on a set timer and, the whether there's a car there or not, you sit at a red light sometimes. We're trying to make it a little better process. We've paid for engineering to be done, and we've received about $2 million from ODOT for upgrades, which will fund roughly 95% of that project, give or take. We still have 2 sections that we're going to do with city dollars, which are going to amount to about $400,000 because ODOT wouldn't fund those. Mm-hmm. But when it's all said and done, all of our obsolete traffic lights, essentially you can't get parts for some of them because they're that old. Those will all be replaced. They'll all be with modern state-of-the-art systems. All the signals will be brought up to the latest state standards, and it'll all be synchronized to help traffic flow smoother, computerized.
How does who conducts the surveys or studies to know how it probably will best work with the traffic patterns?
So you hire a engineering firm that there's people that specialize in that, and they sit and they count traffic counts at each intersection going each way, and then they optimize it based on that. There's all kinds of technical programs and things like that to help make sure traffic's going to flow in the most smooth direction. And then you also have to check and see if there was a couple of intersections that shouldn't have even didn't have enough traffic anymore to even have a traffic light. So one of those we're going to take out. The other 2 the city is going to keep because our residents felt strongly, particularly there's one on 3rd Street and there's one on Slingleaf that gets a lot of traffic during school hours. Our residents felt strongly, so the city's going to pay for those. But again, it's all going to be done with a design to help optimize traffic flow.
Well, we all like that. Nobody likes to, unless there's a good song on the radio, we don't like to sit in the traffic too long.
Nobody likes sitting at a red light if they don't have to, right?
That's right. Hey, tell me a little bit about the power plant. I know there's always a lot going on with that, but in particular, you got a meeting later on today in Columbus, but there's something that the public can enjoy too.
Yeah. Back and forth today and yesterday with meetings in Columbus for the Ohio Municipal Electric Association. As you know, Dover's a public power community. We generate a significant portion of our own power locally. Using local resources and employing local jobs. We think that's important. It adds a reliability factor to our community, and we think it's an economic advantage. But we're very proud of our power plant. It's on 303 3rd Street. I'm sorry, 303 East Broadway, and it's going to have an open house this weekend. We want the people from Tuscarawas County to come see, as part of Public Power Week, see our power plant, how it operates, how we take coal from the ground, and we produce electricity out of it. Even if you're not a Dover Power customer, we'd like you to come out. There'll be pizza. Kids could ride in a bucket truck. A little bit for everybody to do, and I think it'll just be interesting for people to see.
I want to
Sunday.
See. Sunday. What times?
Sunday, October 2nd, from 1 to 4.
1 to 4. All right. And Jason Hall will be there in his hard hat.
Jason Hall's. Yeah, we're going to make him work. Jason Hall will be there in his hard hat.
All right. Eating pizza. Anyway, yes. So that's good. Hands on. I think people get a little bit better understanding about what's going on, because anytime the lights go off, there's always like, what's the power company up to? So
sure. Yeah, and it's obviously a complicated process. There's a lot that goes into that, but we think our power plant is a real jewel. We spend a lot of time, a lot of effort keeping that thing well maintained, and we want the public to come out and see it. It's not the dirty process that you would think it might be.
Yeah, it's good. And what are some of the other things that you and the city council are kind of having on the front burner right now that are maybe upcoming?
We're real excited. As you may know, Dover will probably be the first community in Tuscarawas County to have fiber to every home. There's actually 2 companies that are kind of racing through our community to lay fiber optics to every resident that wants it. At least they'll have the backbone there. Not everybody has to take it. It's not a requirement, but we think between them and Spectrum, the other 2 companies, Frontier is obviously running it now, and Omni Fiber, partnered with the city to attach to our poles, and they'll pay us a nominal fee and use our poles then to help run fiber to the community. But we think, in general, competition's a good thing, and we hope that'll bring down prices for anybody that uses cable TV or phone service, internet service. That we think it'll be a good thing and bring down prices.
How did we live without the internet?
That's a great question. When I started school, back in the Stone Ages, there was very little. You had maybe 2 computers in a room, and now in elementary school, and now everybody. How do you live without it?
Kindergartners know how to use it too, so that's cool for them. And I got a procedural question for you.
Yeah.
When this all came about, you've been the city council president for what, 4 years plus a little bit?
I was just reelected. I had previously served for about 6.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the opportunity was there for the need for an interim mayor. You have to make this decision knowing that if you got it, that you wouldn't have your council position anymore. Did that kind of weigh on your decision process?
Certainly, it's something I thought long and hard about. I talked with a lot of council members. I discussed it with people in the community. That was a factor. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to understand that when this process is over, you may not have probably won't have a job to go back to.
Yeah.
So that's certainly I understood. It's something you have to weigh, but I felt the community needed somebody that could step in and kind of hit the ground running and right the ship, so to speak, and keep things headed in the right direction.
Well, yeah, certainly you were knowledgeable about everything that was going on because you've been there for that long. Tell me a little bit about the process of transition then from being the council president to the acting mayor, and how you have to kind of use that as your team, and how did that go?
It was actually very smooth because I knew a lot of the ins and outs of city government, and it's been helpful. Everybody's been very supportive. We walked in and met with about 25 department supervisors the first day, and everybody said, "Hey, how can I help?" And council's been good. We've worked as a team through this through the time I've been interim mayor, and everybody's trying to kind of pull the wagon in the same direction. So that's always a good thing.
The other strange thing is you're not sure when this might be over.
Correct.
Do you think about that at all, or you just try to go and get things done on a daily basis?
Those are things I can't really control. Yeah. And to be honest with you, the situation I'm in, my thought is I'll just do the best I can with the time I have, and I try not to worry about things you can't control. And so that's kind of been my mantra for the last 4.5 months or so, 5 months. And sometimes I think the department heads are I wear them out a little bit, saying, "Hey, look, we got to get some things done. We got to get this done. We got to get that done." But like I said, everybody's been very supportive, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity right now.
Very good. Well, I won't hold you too much longer because I know this meeting in Columbus does that have any direct bearing on the power plant, or are these plans for the future?
Well, so the city is as part of the Ohio Municipal Electric Association, among other associations. The mayor is the representative to that board. It's basically a collection of similar cities that do what we do. We're one of very few that have our own power plant, but a lot of them will partner on purchasing shares of other facilities and then sell that power to their residents. And so there's about 60 communities in Ohio that, give or take, that do kind of along the lines of what we do. So it's a meeting of, at the state level, what are our concerns? How can we express our viewpoint? How do we interact with our legislators and make sure they know the importance of public power? And I'm grateful that I've been able to spend a couple of days down there back and forth representing the city and kind of sharing what we think is important with our state officials.
Well, we thank you for stopping by, a kind of a coffee stop here, so I appreciate that. And would like to have you come back and you can keep us updated if you would.
I'd be glad to do that.
Shane Gunnoe, the Interim Mayor of Dover, thank you so much for being here. Be careful on your trip.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. He's our guest this morning on the BT Morning Show on our 830 High Beam.